We're going to try this again. I've been making fish. I made the last batch yesterday, I think, or the day before. I had 3 boxes of Oyster Bay wine, and I made 3 groupings of fish at 3 different times, and I was wondering whether I was making them different or if I was repeating myself or what. And you can see that on another video. But now that I've got this massive fish, there are some that are similar and there are some that are less similar. Some have big eyes, some have small eyes, some have fins that have this pattern on them, some have bodies that have that pattern. So what I'm going to do now is imagine that these are all fossils. And I have to figure out which came first and which successfully bred with another fish to create a third fish. So there's things that I have to think about, and where are they in the importance of things? For example, do I classify, if it was real animals, wings, animals that have wings? You have butterflies, you have birds, you have bats. Well, each one of those things is in completely different groupings. One's an insect, one's a mammal, and one is a bird. It's the other kind of thing. So these are all fish, but some are in one family and some are in another family, and then you've got species. And of course they are going to die off because they're not fit enough. So, and I can organize these things in many different ways because these aren't real fish. They are fish from my head. Oops, let's go this way. So I have them in little piles. This pile here are fish that have black in them, and the black was seen in the printing and barcode elements. And one other element, I guess it was the company that made the boxes, had this logo on it. Then there was white, and then there was this blue-gray color. You also had at least 4 different fonts. You had the font that had sort of this handmade papyrus-like font. Then you had the Roman font, and then you had there's a O I found here that was neither one of those. It might have been a 0. And then you had the 2 colors, white and dark blue, gray. And you also had, what other things did you have in my vocabulary here? Some fish I made, by cutting out the box early. And then as I continued to cut apart the box, there was smaller and smaller pieces and harder to make work. And we ended up with things like this, little bits and pieces glued together to make a whole. But now I have to figure out, how does this fish fit with the other fish? For example, see the little stripes on the very end of its tail fin? Well, is that like this one? Are they related or not? So now what I've done, without making any new ones, now that I've got a new plan in my little head, how am I going to sort just these into a family tree? So see what I'm doing? for example, I don't know if where this is going to be, what branch this is. Maybe the beginning is going to be down there, working its way up. Or maybe the beginning will be right here, working way up over there, I don't know. But for example, this little grouping. So we have fish that are more or less similar, and you've got fish that have fins that have stripes on them, but these are sort of crude stripes. And then they may have turned into more elegant stripes, and then finally to fully even stripes like that. Or maybe that's not how they go. On this side of this is the common ancestor here. See, the fins went this way. No, it's odd that maybe this can't be maybe this has to be the common ancestor. This is how you have to carbon date them and everything. So here you have, I think that has to go like this. So white body, this is almost all white, except for these stripes. All these have, see, this is in the wrong spot. This belongs over here. See, that has the white body and the striped fins. These have the striped body and the white fins. At the end, I have some fish that I've made that have died. That's a dead fish with the X over its eyes. That's when the line drops out. So maybe this line is the white on the top of the fish, the dark on the bottom of the fish, like you see here on the one that's living. But that was a stupid way to make fish, so it died out. Up here, these are the ones that seem to be made of the most of as many of my parts as possible. So these might be the most mutt-like, but I'm not sure. There's no black in those. Now maybe the black lettering and the black barcode, maybe these fish died out. These look like they're dead because of, the X is over their eyes. So maybe they will be at the end of a line that isn't making little baby fish. And see here, I've got all sorts of little baby fish. Now these are either babies or they're just small. They're pygmy fish. So I've got all sorts of fun in store for me. Here's another dead fish. I mean, it's been chewed up. This is what that Archaeopteryx thing looks like. It's all flattened, roadkill, pterodactyl. So this will be fun. And when I'm done with my family tree, evolutionary tree, I will find a nice big white wall somewhere in my building and hang it up. So this is how I spend my days. And it's not even 5 o'clock in the morning. No, I think it's almost 7, but I've been up since 4, so that's what I do. I'm also making little marionettes. This guy is going to be, when he's done, he's going to be a weightlifter strongman. He has little thalidomide arms right now, but they will eventually turn into longer ones. So that's what I'm doing. Goodbye. Does my chin bra work today? Write your answers below.